Recording. Welcome back, kiddos. So let's take a poll right now. Is she his kid? It's gonna be one vote on the yes from me.
Hells yeah.
Can always count on you, Matt.
Yeah, dude. Wait, sure, yeah.
Sure.
Sorry about messing up the room.
Charlie's not gonna be happy, but I've seen worse. At least it's not hard to clean, all this concrete.
The guy in the bed? I know what's wrong with him. He's contracted a human resources Trojan.
How would you know this? Have you been trancing with him? Because then we might have to quarantine you as well.
No, I had a friend come down with it.
Okay, then. I can get something to help.
Bring me epinephrine.
Hey, I've got your drugs right here.
I hope that's
Unfortunately, I
good.
can only try to stabilize him for now. We have to wait for a specialist before we can try anything stronger.
A utility drone.
I'm gonna interface with
I
you.
may be good, but even I can't breach it quickly enough. That officer would see me.
Oh, kill him with a fork.
I don't think he'd want that. I don't think he'd
Food in
want
his
that.
face.
I just put a sheet over his head and then start interfacing with the utility drone. You want
You like the camera and throw food in his face.
It's like in
don't think-
Skyrim when you put a bucket over someone's head and steal the entire store.
It doesn't. Looks like it's full of medical stuff.
Hey, what are you doing to
can't
that drone?
interface
You
with
got
it.
an auto
You
ejector.
Just
stole
checking
everything
out the
on it.
hardware. It's quite some gear you guys have.
I've done all I can for the moment.
I'm a terrible
Let me know if it
security
gets any
guard.
worse, okay?
He trusts. He's too trusting.
Hey, did you drill a hole in this cell? No.
You're gonna make him lose his job, and he's gonna end up on the street.
The
And he's
wetware
gonna
won't
die.
form a
And
connect-
you're gonna like find him later.
I can't.
Let me interface my knife with wetware. Wait, am I gonna give him a fucking embolism?
I don't think it's doing anything.
That actually
I
would
guess
kill
that
someone.
shouldn't be a surprise since it was empty.
Yeah, that actually is lethal.
Yeah.
You can't inject people with air.
He just dies.
He just fucking dies. You just go into the nerve net or whatever, and he's like, fuck.
Game over. Start again.
Huh? Fixed to the floor. I can't reach it.
But you can move the table now, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I can move the table.
But how do
I
you
can't
tell it to move the table?
I've already anything else, and I'll probably burn down the building. I think it looks better without.
Me too. The fuck else do I do? Let's go into trance.
Just sitting on a table.
Oh yeah, you can go talk to what's her face, right?
I can talk to a lot of people. I got you an empty knee.
Hi, guy.
Hey there. Hello. She wasn't.
Don't go.
Can you? What's the thing in front of him? Can you click it?
That's
just
the
epinephrine.
that's the epinephrine you have to get for him.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Oh look, there's the answer to that question.
Huh. Yeah, I want to hear.
But first I want to see if I can hook into the internet.
You're occupying this terminal's internet port. Mind if I connect to the trans through you?
I'm sorry, that's not possible.
Oh, come
Back
on,
off.
man. I'll only be a few Gbps. I haven't been on in like hours.
I can assure you, the trance won't be going anywhere without you.
Come on, I need to get back in there.
I'm sorry, I have to keep this port open for our data miners. Plus, it may not be safe for you.
They've already got me in here. What's the worst that could happen?
Think it through. If whoever has been targeting you notices you've come back online,
They'd realize I was still alive.
and exactly where you are. I'm sorry, but until we find out exactly who they are and what they want, you're going to have to remain out of the trance.
Damn. I can't wait to download a car.
What's your beef with Cell anyway? It must be something pretty big to go after one of the most secure systems in the world.
In an organization like ours, the word secure raises red flags. The mere fact that Cell is so opaque tells us they've something they feel worth hiding.
I've never had any problems with them. They seem to do all right running the city.
As long as you remain within your ever-flexible world of the trance, certainly. You may, however, miss that which happens in the tangle of the real that Central controls. And today there was an opportunity we just couldn't pass up.
So, no answer. That's what we got.
Useful.
Maybe they're just power grabbers. We don't know. Aren't we all power grabbers?
Maybe they have explosives in their bones.
This apartment looks almost exactly like mine. Well, except for all the data artifacts. And it's cleaner.
Not surprising, since it was right above yours.
Are you sure that agent wasn't targeting this apartment?
Unlikely. The occupant was away long-term. Together with trapping you within your apartment and outside of the trance.
Yeah, I thought so. Just hoped it might be someone else they were after. Then I could get back to my trance. What's Guy's job then?
He's a good friend of our cause. Works as a relay. We keep a connection open to him, and he finds a way to get as physically close as possible to secure systems.
He looks like he could do with your help.
His link was lost several hours ago.
The Trojan psychophage she's infected with.
He has used some risky tactics for getting inside Cell before. While successful, it appears that his work may have overcome him.
Oh, I sorry I didn't mention this sooner, but it's she's using some sort of voice editing, whatever, because our protagonist has the same voice,
Right.
but this girl doesn't, so it's very possible that this guy is just like Baxter or whatever.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with
it's
Central.
pretty obvious
Did
that
you
they
do
have a voice bunch.
Not us. We've never seen anyone quite so devastatingly successful. A
actually
multi-vector
didn't notice
heuristic
their
denial of
voices sounded
service attack against
similar
Central's
until
inner
now.
systems.
But for that, you'd need thousands.
Hundreds of thousands of systems well prepared, working in synchronicity, or access to its innermost workings. It's almost too good to be true, all of Central down at a moment's notice.
How's the city still running?
They'll have auxiliary mechanisms
guess
in place. Newton's autonomic
is
nervous
that-
system to Central's higher brain functions.
With Central suddenly down, Cell security
This
system was weaker
person
than ever.
Precisely.
is
An opportunity
Baxter.
that Jahilia couldn't
And
pass up.
Baxter is trying to get back at Cell for something, and is doing that through Regis by manipulating his daughter against him.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. I
He
still
smashed it,
don't
like-
trust Cell though.
That embryo he smashed has got to have been like either an embryo from someone else, or it was empty or something, and they took that embryo and they grew it into a person.
Yeah, maybe they just put a different embryo in it or something after
Yeah.
it's growing.
This is the long con.
It's the longest con.
I read Shishiki sometimes. What's wrong with them?
That depends. If you want the banal and the trivial, they're absolutely fine. By having a stranglehold on the world's media industry, they are capable of controlling what the majority of the population are aware of.
Are they lying to us?
No, merely deceiving.
Huh?
What they want people to know, they'll report wholly, truthfully, and factually. This is how they've established their credibility. If they or their allies wish something to be suppressed, they have thousands of hackers on staff to destroy systems that pose a threat.
You're kidding.
Not at all. They lead the world in private sector espionage through a number of subsidiaries. As far as Jahilia are concerned, the things most worth knowing are those that
How'd they
others wish
pronounce it?
hidden. That is why we work against Chishiki, to ensure that the world knows the whole truth.
What were you saying, Tyler?
I'm glad that they pronounced Jahilia because I was lost. I was like, I was reading it and I was like, Jar Jar Jar.
Jar Jar Binks.
Alright, I'll get through this quickly. As much as I'm interested in these characters, we should do stuff.
Guy's going to help me get out, but what then? I can't exactly go home anymore.
We have much to discuss, and that would be better done on a secure site. There are a number of terminal nodes we use as drop points. One of those will suffice. But remember, do not access the trance on the net until we confirm it's safe.
Any idea why they're after me?
Have you been hacking anyone you shouldn't have?
Nobody who tried to kill me anyway. Could it be related to Cell? It was an agent who planted the bomb.
Not directly. If it was, they'd have finished you rather than keeping you prisoner. I have some theories as to what's going on, but we'll know more for certain later.
Once you've had a chance to pull data out from Central while it's down.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Off one.
What?
I don't know what that means.
It sounded Middle Eastern. And I understand that Middle Eastern is not a language.
Let the record show. Middle Eastern, not a language.
Let the record show that I was merely referencing one of the many languages spoken.
Alright, we went to both places. Oh, the only lead that I know is the scalpel, the injector, and the unscrewed table.
You can't.
Can
I-
you stab the screen or the door or
Prying it open with
like the
that.
You were correct, kind of.
Wow, this is some really old hardware. It's going to need some upgrading if I want to make it produce anything complex.
and you can't did you try
I can't just put it back. The optics aren't sensitive enough to construct.
Aren't sensitive enough.
I can't.
What were you saying?
what? Oh. Something about stabbing the door. Or there's nothing to stab on the door. There's no panel to get out. And you can't do anything more with Guy. It's just sort of...
Where's my memory stick? I have a memory stick.
I don't think you can access your real world item. The train.
It's not compatible. I can't put it back. I haven't done anything. It'd still just make the brown stuff. I can't reach. What?
So... Is there any nuance to the table? Like any...
I think it looks.
Like you can pull it around or anything? Or push it
It's
around?
not- That isn't an upgrade it needs. You want this? Huh.
Hi there.
Dad,
How can I help?
Can I
have
speak
some
to you?
money.
Sure. Just a second.
Thanks for that.
Anytime. Just call if you need anything.
This was good. This was good what happened
okay.
here. Yeah.
Can you move the table at all? It said pull table. I was right. Haha.
Aha.
Now what?
Oh no, can you like call him over and then the table's in the way?
You'll never get in here.
I can reach it, but I'm.
Can you come talk to me? Haha, you can't.
You fucker.
This might be useful.
High grade lands.
I've already got it.
And
what
don't
the
you have
fuck?
an optical module?
I know, but it's upsetting to me.
I've upgraded the optical component with the camera's super.
That's not how I expected those to be combined.
That's not how.
Not from up.
That's not how that works. bro.
Not from up here.
There. It should be a lot more sensitive with that now.
A camera lens is not going to 3D print things.
There's no more.
I'm curious what that interaction actually is going to be.
I want it to happen so bad.
Table. Take this, nice squire.
Hi there. How can I help?
Can I speak to you?
Sure. Just a second. What? Oh, come on. Look, can you move the table, please?
Such a... Okay,
gonna
so
call
now
him.
we
Can you pull it
now
up?
the food machine has an eye.
Let's fry it.
I can't reach it from.
This guy.
As cool as.
I want the memory stick. I want amphetamines.
What did you?
I just downloaded amphetamines.
I don't think that's how drugs work, man.
You wouldn't download an amphetamine.
I hope it understands its new orders. Let's see what it can do now.
Put the fucking coin in the machine. Buy her.
It didn't sound like the machine enjoyed that. At least it managed to make me a cartridge of epinephrine.
So it 3D printed
The cartridge is mounted in.
adrenaline.
This is a safe thing to do to a human.
Now let's see if
I'm
he
gonna-
picks up his end of the bargain.
I'm gonna inject you with
Hippocratic oath.
3D printed epinephrine.
This is never not safe.
Hello? Huh.
Let's see how he's doing. Just get in, and it's just like a seizure screen, just like thousands of pinks and greens, and just.
It's the robot's taking over or not.
Feeling better?
A whole lot, thanks. I managed to get rid of the knockoff. Give me a few hours. I'll be out of the wall and can help you leave.
I haven't got a few hours. What can you do now?
From here? Not much, but I could give you some options.
I need more than helpful suggestions.
I've got control of one of the utility drones. They use them for moving Kit around the building.
I might be able to escape if I was better equipped.
Atta girl. I've sent you the link to the drone. She'll be in your hub.
Oh my god. You can control the Roomba.
Oh my god. This is raw power. Nobody can be trusted with so much.
Oh my.
I become the Roomba,
I am become Roomba.
destroyer of dirt. I'm a god.
Oh, Explodey Boy isn't in there anymore.
F. You fools. You think you're safe, but I'm actually a Roomba. A drone connection. Are they using synths for undercover work now? Oh my god, this is so amazing.
The power. No one man should have all that Roomba.
Goodbye.
Please, sir, may I have a gun? No reason. Hell yeah, I'm leaving.
She just lives out her days. as
It's just like you know how
Error instant.
when you leave as Regis, it shows you in like the cool car on the highway. It's the same. It's just the Roomba on the highway, like fucking booking it.
He's driving somehow.
This is surreal.
Well, now you're stuck together.
You've done well, my
Take it
pretty.
harder.
but we don't have much time.
You won't sit still long enough.
Shoot
I
it.
may be good, but even that officer would see me.
That off.
I may be good. That officer.
That's not quite what's going on. I'm gonna stab it.
That does.
I'm gonna throw food at it.
I
Make-
can't use.
Make it warm.
I can't use it like
I
that.
know what I'm gonna fucking do.
Come on, shoot.
Oh my god.
Oh, I guess we missed something. I thought I was just gonna throw a sheet on it and it was gonna get
Yeah.
confused.
I thought you were gonna do like the thing where
This might be useful.
it rolls onto the sheet and you like lift up the corners and you like tie it and do a knot.
Yeah.
Power down.
yeah.
Hack.
Wait, did you just get lasers?
Hell
You
yeah.
got lasers.
Oh, dude.
Like, commit surgery on it. Yeah.
Now, what do
That
you use?
doesn't-
Use lasers on the door?
I've already. There isn't enough. There isn't enough. There isn't enough.
There isn't enough.
Better.
Okay, got it. And deliver.
I can't use.
Can you use it on the vent?
So stupid. Hey, so I've destroyed a camera and I've
Can
also
I speak
stolen
to
one
you?
of your robots.
Just a second.
Also, I broke apart your phone.
Every time he comes in, he's like, how the fuck did you do this?
Thanks for that.
Anytime. Just call if you need anything.
He doesn't notice.
Doesn't address the drone on the floor.
You're waving around a cutting laser and he's like, ah, cool.
I want to imagine that he's just like, thank God, the city kids.
I couldn't find. Not unless. I
Can
couldn't
you
find.
use
Not unless I
the
plan
cutting
on taking the
laser
whole
on,
a utility
since
drone.
it's a
If-
laser, could you use it on the vent?
I can't reach it.
You don't have to read it as laser.
Able.
Oh.
Hey, can you come here for a second?
That's boring.
Thanks for coming in here. I'm happy. All right. Pew. Stretch.
Fucking Mrs.
Lol.
Fantastic over here.
Goodbye. That is my
And I'm
second-
out.
Oh my God, the cell building's gonna blow up. I'm telling you.
Germination.
8 hours later.
Ahem.
Dr. Lau, you have a visitor.
Oh, good evening, Dr. Lau.
What?
Hello? And you are...
Surely you recognize him.
Oh, we're
Nope.
playing WoW now.
Nah.
I'm afraid you'll have to enlighten me.
This is Dr. Vargas.
Now, Galatea, there's
Sorry.
no need to be quite like that. The fact that I am not widely recognized perhaps indicates how successful we are.
Yes, you're right, Father.
Vargas? Dr. Eduardo Vargas?
Quite so, Dr. Lau.
What brings you from the Fulcrum Tower, sir?
A most grave matter, I'm afraid. One I believe you specifically to be most suited to handle.
Shall I, Father?
Please do, Galatea.
Central, I believe the audio EM capture system in this room to be faulty.
That's the same
Please
voice
run a deep
as
diagnostic on the
our
system.
good girl.
Certainly, Miss Vargas. Beginning scan.
We have perhaps 2 minutes until the diagnostic cycle is complete.
Dr. Lau, have you heard of
Weird
a
how it
gentleman
changes,
by the
like-
name of Baxter?
If I had a few moments to transfer it...
He was a engineer, a former colleague of Dr. Regis.
And of mine in our research days. Tragically, also the man responsible for the murder of Regis's wife, poor Viksha.
Oh,
Confirmed.
yes. Regis has been hit hard lately by the paroling. He didn't seem to think that Baxter deserved any kind of release.
It appears that he may well have acted on these objections.
Dr. Lau, when did you last see Dr. Regis?
Last night, before Central went into siege mode. Why? What's happened?
This morning, Dr. Baxter was found dead in his workplace.
Oh, shit.
No. Oh, Charlie.
Ah,
no.
I
fuck.
share your concern, Dr. Lau.
Central believes Dr. Regis to be the most likely suspect. He would
Ah,
have known that
fuck.
Central would be unable to provide oversight during the siege.
And he had no shortage of motive, as I'm sure you'd agree.
You're the controller of Central Operations. Why would you need to cut the camera feed with a trick like that?
I apologize, but for the sake of city security,
Yeah, can't tell me. Classified, ultraviolet A, etc.
I'm glad you understand.
I might understand, but I'm not happy about it.
Noted, Dr. Lau.
It just doesn't sound like him, though. He had other outlets, like his garden.
I don't fully agree with Central's assessment either. That is why I'm activating you on this case.
You want me to investigate
Activating.
Baxter's murder with my partner as the prime suspect? Isn't that a pretty serious conflict of interest?
It is within my prerogative to select agents I feel appropriate for casework, if necessary. Using it to aid an old friend, a good man, like Charlie Regis, I think that's worthwhile.
Remember that your primary responsibilities are to the law and to this city.
You have a connection to Regis as well?
Quite so. He worked for me in a research team, as did Baxter, in the same project.
And Viksha Regis.
Precisely. We lost half of the team in one fell swoop that day.
I think I've heard enough.
That's good to hear. I'll have Galatea
I
email
didn't
the
hear
case
enough.
data to you. If I can be of any further help, don't hesitate to drop by my office.
At the top of the Fulcrum Tower. Make an appointment beforehand.
Diagnostic cycle of monitoring systems complete. No wetware or firmware anomalies detected. However, please ask Dr. Regis to stop obstructing the land's assembly.
I wish you luck with your work, Dr. Lau. For Regis's sake.
Wait a moment. So, did he walk in and suddenly Central was like, "I'm not gonna watch this"?
Yeah, his daughter was like, run a diagnostic, and I was like, okay, I won't look.
Hey, step out of the room for a moment.
If you did notice, the doctor did do a double take before he left, which means he's the killer.
About what? Where did he double take at?
Sorry,
he was
Regis.
Oh shit.
There's nothing in...
He walked
Look at this
out, and then he
graph.
got here, and he stopped, and then he kept going.
Got to wait till the AI lab have had their turn
I
analyzing her.
honestly, I
Then
assumed
she's all
that
mine.
was just a catch in the streaming. Chantel.
I think this was an after-the-fact line, because it has a different recording quality. Here, I'll show you.
There's nothing in here.
Got to wait till the AI lab have had their turn analyzing her. Then she's all mine.
Recorded in like a closet on like a
She's expensive.
headset
I
mic.
wonder if I can persuade Regis to let us keep her.
I love Lau.
Too bad
let's look
she's
through
gonna
her
have to
now.
die. Attachment.
All right. From Vargas, Galatea, Civad, case file. Dr. Lau is authorized by City Administrator Dr. Eduardo Vargas. Please find access to the investigation case files enclosed. If you wish to discuss the case in person with the administrator, please make an appointment beforehand.
Ow! Hey, what was that?
Virus.
Brainwash.
Now you work in a lab at China.
Tyler Matt?
From Central.
Did the one from Regis just say Max Lau and that was it?
Yep.
Okay, go Matt.
It was received on the 9th of July 2087, and the subject is mindjackings. Dr. Lau, thank you for the summary of the so-called mindjacking investigations. It is evident that some of the Dr. Regis talent in the investigation has found its way into your work, but please be aware that you need not also emulate his less helpful behavioral patterns.
This is from my boss, who's a robot. Right? Yeah, it's from Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Lau. It's Tyler's turn. You got it.
From Edmund Lau. Subject, please come home.
Oh god.
Sad. Max, it doesn't matter what Mom said. I don't really understand why you did it either, but I'm not going to judge you. I miss you, and they won't admit it, but Mom and Dad do too. But Mom and Dad too. Please come home, Max. That city, that life, it'll change you. Eddie XXX.
Tentacion.
So I think this is our brother. Edward and Max were brothers before the gender change. I imagine that's probably what's the referred to. Anxiety. Probably why she left.
the whole I don't understand why you did it either.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not the accepting world that we
No
thought
answer.
it was.
Goddamn old people. Except this would probably be us, right? Right? That would.
Oh, dude.
We'd be like 60 at this time, right? Or 70? I don't fucking know. No, this would be our kids, which would be the skeptical ones. Honestly, that seems pessimistic, but maybe I'm
Use
just
wetware on the.
optimistic.
Wait, did you say that these would be our kids?
It would be the
Nah,
parents
I've
of
already.
her parents would be our kids.
Got it. I was like,
Generation-wise.
because that's not correct.
Nah,
that
I've
she
already
would
got it
be
set
their
up
kids.
just right.
At this time.
Nah, I've already. The
That
desk
would mean that
terminals
we'd
don't
have
have enough
kids
bandwidth, so
probably around
I all strictly perfect.
2065.
Nah. The desk
That's
terminals
50
don't all
years from now, man.
Damn.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, she's got a cool car too.
Oh, does she have a different car?
Let's go crime scene.
No, it's the same one, but it's cool.
Wow, that's a lot of green.
Oh, dude, weed.
Excuse me.
Great, they finally sent someone. You here to get the body out?
Maybe. I'm Max Lau, cell case specialist.
No kidding. I'm the lab director, Dr. Zvidzai Chigwa. Make it quick, I'm busy.
What's your role here?
I'm the supervisor for the telepresence factoring labs. Most of it's automatic. I just make sure it's all running like it should.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
It's a lousy job most of the time. TP is where management sticks people they don't want in public-facing roles.
You're not happy with it?
For the last few years, my career has been one disaster after another. I'm just glad it's plateaued into some kind of stability.
Can you tell me what happened?
Baxter got killed.
In any more detail?
When we started this afternoon, a whole lot of samples had been tampered with. We tried to call Baxter to find out what the hell was going on in the specimen bank.
And he didn't answer.
He didn't. Turned out the door to the specimen bank was locked too.
You haven't seen the body?
Nope, not in person, if that's what you mean. We got
I
the
didn't
camera
know.
feed
Still
online,
alive.
but it was obvious that Baxter wasn't going to be coming out.
When did you last see him?
Guess it could have been Wednesday?
So he could have been killed any time in the past 3 days?
I guess, but it wouldn't fit with everything else. Is that all?
For now.
Then if...
I don't know why.
Excuse
Just
me.
suddenly got loud.
Aside from...
There's my
Whoops.
intern, Martin Neester, operates the factoring line. If you meet him, it's easy to see why they put him in here. And until recently, there was Dr. Baxter.
Tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Oh, he was bad enough to work with in the 60s. As part of his
2060s.
parole, they stuck a governor in his head.
Yeah.
Since then, it's like talking to a badly written synthetic.
You don't care for him a great deal.
That man killed Vicky. Frankly, he deserved what he got.
But you still work with him.
He worked for me. It was another part of his parole. Vickerman's management persuaded centralized government that his skills were going to waste in prison. The company wanted him supervised by someone who knew him. Hence, they dragged my sorry ass in.
What did you have him doing?
He organized the specimen bank. It's the kind of thing we could just leave him at for hours on end. Days, sometimes. Really, it could have just been done by the facility's AI, but I had to give him something.
Otherwise, you'd have to talk to him?
Exactly. Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me.
I'm gonna get back to staring at this spraying drone.
Better not.
Good
It might...
drone.
Well, I like the character, but I want to do things.
I'm not a engineer. I have no idea what it's for.
And what was her doctor? It was in electronics, right?
I'd better not. If I start
Maybe.
taking every single
Yeah,
specimen,
she's
I'll be here.
she was called a wirehead.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
Warning. Security clearance not valid for access to Growth Lab. Vickerman Pharmaceuticals thanks you for your cooperation.
A physical.
Someone scratched out.
Adam.
Regis is probably the only person I know who'd want his picture on paper. I guess defacing a digital one just isn't the same. Hey, there's Dr. Chigwa as well.
Warning. Warning. Security clearance not.
Come on.
New security profile created. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Lau.
Thanks.
Nice.
Get gooped.
Oops. That's not good. They're keeping things in here because they're dangerous or new. Probably not what I wanted.
Stuff.
When in doubt.
What the hell?
What?
It set the volume to minimum. I guess it... I guess it's not coded right.
It's not too distracting.
I'd better not. If I start taking...
There's a man.
Hi there.
Georgie promised a blow by blow.
I envy that man's hair.
Hi there.
I am a possibility to move it from the TV.
What?
The fuck?
He's a Russian.
My name's Dr. Max Lau. I'm a cell case specialist.
Camouflage paint likes to take a walk in the park.
The fuck?
You're not making any sense.
I am a possibility to move it from the TV.
Are you alright?
With caviar.
He's a synth.
What happened here?
The robot dramatically cleaned a screaming pile of biscuits.
I see. What happened here?
The robot
I see. What's your role?
Insignificance could please even the most demanding follower of Freud.
Uh-huh. I give up.
What time do we think we want it to be?
Okay, he's crazy.
I am a possibility.
Alright. I'd better. If I start...
Try wet wearing him.
Try wet wearing him.
Dude, he's absolutely a synth.
Wetware's not going to...
Dang.
Try cutting open his neck and letting his power cell out.
Oh god.
Or is it his
What a
chest?
mess.
I think it was his chest. Oof, that's a body.
I
That's
don't
a body.
think our guy would have killed him that gruesomely.
Yeah, I
Nothing
want to
unusual
say
found on the body, Central.
That?
Estimation on time of death?
The climate control in the specimen lab is compromising your sensors. Ambient temperature is just above freezing.
Thanks, Central.
Update, Central.
What is the situation, Dr. Lau?
Dr. Baxter
head
is certainly dead.
Is pretty messed
He's
up.
been
You can't really tell.
decapitated, and not cleanly either.
His head has been removed.
More like destroyed. At a glance, this would be the most likely cause of death.
What is your estimation of the incident, Dr. Lau?
There's too much we can't say for sure. We don't know precisely
It's
when
not
Baxter was
Dr.
murdered.
Baxter's body.
We can't even be sure that this was the cause of death.
That is a fair assessment.
That's
A
a fair
clearer
point.
picture will no doubt follow the autopsy.
Don't send in anyone yet. I still need to carry out a preliminary.
I understand. Continue your investigation of events surrounding the incident.
Understood. Lau out. I hope I can find something to get Regis off the hook.
I bet you it's a similar situation to how the one guy killed his husband.
Yeah.
He's like, there's something inside me. I'm gonna blow my head off.
Yeah.
And then the Sith was like, blow head off. I'll do that.
Please rip me apart.
Daddy. Just taking shit.
It's some kind of slime.
Greater Han Republic.
So what did that doctor outside tell us?
We
Nothing.
can go ask. Except for the crazy one.
lady.
He was crazy.
Or not the crazy one. The lady.
Yeah, we'll find out. I just want to look at who's asking for these things. Eco hazard. Extremophile found on asteroids in comets. Really? We found alien life? Huh. Anyone know any head puns?
He looked like he was really decapitated.
That's what happens when you try and get a head.
He got a haircut a little too close.
He didn't have his head in the game.
Excuse me, Dr. Chigwell.
Make it quick, I'm
He
busy.
got too angry and lost his head.
What's the purpose of this lab? Plant studies?
Yes and no. It's a TP lab, telepresence. There's a lot of research that's not exactly legal in some countries.
But in Newton, pretty much anything goes.
Exactly. If someone in the EU needs research done on something hazardous, infectious, or endangered, they send the orders here and we carry out the testing.
What sort of research?
Mostly we make new angiosperms from scratch. That's flowering plants to you.
Gee, thanks. Why would people want new flowers?
Sometimes it's a drug delivery method. The earliest commercial examples were fruit that grew packed with insulin. A lot of new wetware begins its life as engineered fruit, too.
Must be awkward if they cross-pollinate in the wild.
And a legal headache. Part of our job is making sure the copy protection works.
Copy protection in plants? Ouch. Tell me about Mr. Neester.
He came over from Eurofed on a study program. He's young. I guess we're all like that in our youth.
Good colleague?
He's all right. He got on board with that annoying Maladist trend. He knows how to follow instructions, so I let him get on with it.
His visa still active?
Dr. Lau, we do not employ undocumented illegals in this lab.
Just have to check. I'm sure you understand. You've got a keen mind. What's your take on this?
Hey, I'm not the detective, young lady. You know what I think? I think Regis did what they ought to have done 20 years ago.
Why do you say that?
Seems logical. We've got him coming into the labs on security, then we got him coming out an hour later. When we get here, we've got Baxter's corpse contaminating the specimen bank.
Anything else?
Well, something strange. Since we got in, we keep finding samples that have been tampered with. Looks like he spent his hour here messing up the genomes of our specimens.
That quickly?
If anyone was good enough to do it that fast, it'd be Charlie.
Charlie.
You knew Regis as well.
Yeah, I was on a research team with him and his wife back in the 60s. Baxter, too.
You've apparently known him a long time. Does this seem like something Regis would do?
Oh, after what he did to Vicky, I'd have strangled Baxter too. I tell you, if he did do it, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
So,
you think he did it, though?
I don't know. He was
Does she
always
think
kind of
Baxter was
shady.
strangled?
Tell me about it.
Because
They made him do
that's
some
pretty strong strangling.
real awful stuff out in the hot zones.
Maybe he's
Such
strangled with
as-
some razor
Let's
wire.
just say his escape led to a whole lot of people being jailed for war crimes.
It's just like just rabbit hole. What's you working on?
I tried talking to your intern. It wasn't helpful.
Oh, never mind that. He's got aphasia.
Isn't that treatable?
Oh, yes. He just gave it to himself. It's what the kids are into these days.
Crippling neurological disorders?
Yes and no. Maladism, they call it. They give themselves old diseases. It only lasts about a week each time.
Oh.
And you let him do that?
He's not public-facing. And as long as it doesn't get in the way of his work. I figure we all did
That's
things the
pretty
old
neat.
folks thought were stupid back when we were kids.
So what's aphasia?
It's when you don't know how to speak. You can't find the right words.
So he gave himself aphasia. That's fascinating.
Like you're like, I want to say the word table, and your brain says bear because tables and bears are brown.
Nice.
You seem preoccupied.
That obvious, huh? We found a couple of specimens that Regis tampered with in his hour here. So I gotta run through the catalog and dig out the backups.
Sounds straightforward.
Not when there's 11,000 samples to take. Oh, I could punch Regis for this. Though, I want to shake his hand for Baxter so it kinda evens out.
What's been done to the samples?
He's used a customized viral vector to add huge amounts of junk DNA to their genomes. These are the last two I found, Medioflorens interensis and Linacia lawsonis.
May I have a look?
Do you think it'll help?
Just a hunch. Huh. Non-binary.
Got it. Yeah.
Quaternary data string?
What do you mean?
My wetware systems are interpreting the genomes of these plants as sections of an audio file. He's used the DNA to store information.
You think so?
It's incomplete. The two samples only make up a third of the data, but M and L, my initials? This can't be a coincidence. He's left a message.
What does it say?
Not sure yet. I could probably construct the whole message if I can find where he's hidden the rest of it.
Safe to say it's in the other plants he's engineered. Here, take this. You can sample DNA from the plants around the lab. If you run out of sampling cartridges, you can reload it at this console.
Thanks. How long would it take to sample
Press
everything in the
F
lab?
to get into cover.
Only a couple of years. We have over 11,000 subjects. You're better off looking for specimens that would fill the gaps in the clue he left.
Okay. Well, what's my middle initial?
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me.
Unless you have to do A, X, A, and O.
Blue plants, yellow plants.
Red plant, blue plant, one plant, two plant.
Red plants, yellow blooms. Blue plants, red plants.
They're keeping things in here because...
Tase him.
Okay. That's an A. I am so confused.
I don't think I can fix it. I don't think.
It's not in your field to rotate a wheel?
This could be useful. Looks like a lot of cartridges for the injector.
I'm gonna take Draculin because it sounds like Dracula.
Draculin is just an antiquated. It's what? It's the chemical that
Nothing happened.
vampire bats inject, but fight cows.
You sound like a robot. Let's try and redo the call.
Do I still sound like a robot?
Not right now, but you were.
Okay. Draculin is the shit that vampire bats inject or secrete when they bite animals so the blood doesn't coagulate.
I see.
Wondrous all lies ahead. What would the
All right, I won't.
Are one of those chemicals a thing that you can use to make him not have aphasia?
Give him Draculin.
Give him Draculin.
What was the alien plant?
Oh, yeah. Tizardi.
Take it.
Xenospores.
Can you take this?
Tizardi.
Huh. It won't let me take a sample from this one. I guess it needs to have grown a bit first. I'd better not. It would only take it away and store it somewhere. I'd better not. I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message.
I think we have to spell Max Wow.
Yeah.
It's just that there are a lot of A's and X's and shit. Definitely a lot of A's and O's.
I'm going to need.
There's a lot of A's here.
Yeah.
Well, did you fix though?
Can we figure out how to does either he or what's her face know or have any hints as to what we should be doing?
Well, that guy won't tell you anything.
Is there something she can tell you to cure his aphasia?
Excuse me, Dr. Ch.
Make it quick.
I need to ask Meester about the tampered specimens. How do I cure his aphasia?
Well, you wouldn't really cure it. He doesn't actually have the disease. It's essentially wetware designed to occupy the Wernicke and Broca regions of the brain. This then produces the symptoms of the disease. That's what they're going for.
I can't wait a week for the wetware to break down.
Find a way to break it down early then. If we've got an emergency contamination, we use hydroxypyruvate isomerase. It's an enzyme that instructs the fabricators in wetware to disassemble themselves.
HI.
Hydroxybenzodiazepine.
I still want to inject him with Dracula. I want him to become a vampire.
That'll kill him. You like inject it straight into him.
Looks like a lot of cartridges for the injector.
Hydroxypyruvate.
Hey, bud, I need you to take this.
When will Plumber show them a full...
Sorry, just test.
Did you tase him?
I can't not promise to avoid not doing that thing I don't do.
Really? How interesting.
Beached questions, you injector?
Say that again?
Overpass, did you stick me with an injector? Now I'll have to get my aphasia rate jabbed. Not cool, man.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Why'd you go and give yourself aphasia?
Not just that. There are loads of syndromes. It's maladies, man.
Aren't diseases like that dangerous, though?
It's not permanent, man. We ain't stupid. Wetware nodes in the body create the symptoms of things we want, which you went and broke. Gee, thanks.
Sorry about that. In any case, they're temporary then.
Exactly.
I still don't get it.
Man.
What's the hook for maladism?
Man, you old folk never get things like MD.
Old?
Most of these syndromes are diseases that are completely curable. They just don't happen anymore. Society says no to them.
So it's countercultural? An act of rebellion?
Exactly. Diseases like that make the establishment uncomfortable. They don't want it to be a part of their society. But we show them they can't ever get rid of it completely.
You're rubbing their faces in it then.
And in another way, it's kinda retro. Illnesses like that are what shape society. The Black Death made Europe what it is.
Gotta appreciate the classics.
For a lot of us, it's also about who's hardest. Posers go for little things like botulism or influenza. But you know someone's got real nodes on them if they can stand a month with HIV.
Okay.
Alright.
That seems
No
like
balls.
something stupid teenagers would do, yeah. I mean, we already know about the anti-vaccine movement, so go ahead. My believability is there.
So, what other diseases have you tried?
Loads of them. Parkinson's, syphilis, tuberculosis. Last month, it was Hansen's disease.
Wait, leprosy?
Yeah, if you're a Zift, Hansen's is the real name.
Sounds like quite a selection.
It's why I came to study in Newton. Eurofed's just starting to get into MD culture. Even talking about banning it. Newton's where it's at for it. You guys are a lot cooler about what you let people do.
On an individual basis, certainly. That's pretty much the founding philosophy here.
It's a Randian paradise.
Hey, the pipes in the growth lab are leaking.
Ah, yoke it. Again? Better go fix it before Chigwa starts yelling.
Now steal his shit.
Now what?
I don't fucking know. I'm just touching things.
According to the labels, these shouldn't be handled without protective gear.
Nuke it.
I guess these pipes aren't broken.
How do I get protective gear?
According to the...
I'm just sampling.
According to the... According to...
Shoot it.
Use gun on problem.
This is my protective gear.
I'm ready to get into maladism. Grabs botulism.
Give me some of that botulism.
Give me some of that ALS.
It's
Excuse
like
me,
the
Dr.
ALS
Chigwa?
challenge just
Make it
becomes
quick,
give
I'm
yourself
busy.
ALS.
Film yourself doing it.
What sort of research were you conducting in the 60s?
You mean with Charlie and his wife? You might not believe it, but we were the people behind Central.
Central? The city governing AI Central?
The same. Newton was looking for a coordinator AI. Vargas put together a team including the new Mr. and Mrs. Regis.
Nuke me. Regis never mentioned anything about this.
It wasn't a happy memory for him. He left after the unpleasantness. We finished the project a few months later.
Huh. Might explain why he hates Central's guts. Have you found anything else with added genetic data?
As a matter of fact, I have. There was a batch of Orchidaceae isotria in the growth lab, and...
And?
I can't remember exactly which specimen the other was. I do remember that it had yellow flowers, broad leaves, and produced long fruit.
Yellow flowers, broad leaves, long fruit.
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you...
Blue flower, red thorn.
If I start taking...
Shrek reference, everyone.
I think this is a procedural puzzle.
Yeah, I don't think... So, yellow flower, broad leaves, long fruit.
Blue flower, red thorn.
I'd better not. If I start...
Just tell me what's in there.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
Sure you have.
Thank you.
There was an O plant that was in the growth lab. He's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Hey, Orchidaceae isotria. Yeah, let's take a DNA sample.
I've taken a DNA...
Did that say yellow flowers?
There are a lot of yellow flowers.
Is there a difference between yellow flowers and yellow blooms?
I don't know.
Warning, copyright breach in progress.
Excuse me?
You are not authorized to remove Orchidaceae isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs GmbH. Beginning purge.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized. Have a nice day.
Gee, thanks.
Fuck, man. We got neutralized. Well, I think it's also the neutralize of this day's session. Because we got
yeah,
one
I'm
hell
confused. Fuck. This is gonna be like we're
puzzles.
gonna. This is like when we start up again. It's gonna be like most of the session.
I'm gonna stop recording.